Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to another lesson. I think it's lesson 5 so far of Aprende Español con Camaradas. Learn Spanish with comrades. We're gonna see some useful stuff here today. Main verbs are behind us, and very soon we'll be ready to start constructing sentences and analyzing sentences and translating sentences and acquiring more and more vocabulary and sing more songs together. But today we have a different subject. We have this subject here, modificadores, modifiers. Right on. So, aumentativos and diminutivos. When we say something is bigger or way big, or something is teeny tiny and small, like a little this, little that, or big this or big that. So we're going to work with these words over here. Libro, which is Spanish for book. Pelota, which is Spanish for ball. Could be ball like a pelota vasca, like a Basque. Pelota, the ball. Could be a football ball or something, But also, there's this word, this way of speaking when you say pelota is to be a pelota is to be, someone who is who sucks up to someone, flatters someone too much. So they get something away from them, basically. It's not the case, though. So pelota, let's say for short it is ball. Noticia, which means news, a piece of news. Una noticia, one piece of news. Dos noticias, two pieces of news, and so on. Buenas noticias, good news. You know the drill. Amigo, o amiga, o amigue. Again, we're going to use the masculine in this case because we're going to use the augmentative. But in either case, amigo, amiga, or amigue. Amigo if it's masculine, amiga if it's feminine, and amigue if it's anything in between, which hopefully in the future, someday, we'll all be amigues, no matter what, whether we're binary or non-binary, because it doesn't really matter. So, amigo, friend. Calle, which is street. Rico, which means rich in this context. I would say, there's another context in which rico means yummy. Que rico. Yum, yum. That's yummy. Like Nicole's dinner right now, hopefully, is going to be yummy. And compañere, which means comrade, which could be compañero, compañera, o compañere. Same with rico, to be honest. Like calle is la calle, it's feminine, but it's an object, so it doesn't get gendered. But rico could be rico, you're rich, or rica if you're a woman, a rich woman, or un hombre rico, a rich man. If I were a rich man, yada, 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 yada. It goes back to eating. Good. So, Enrique could be like Enrique, but we'll have to write it with a Q. But we're going to Rico again because you'll see. We're going to use the modifications of it. So, compañere, compañero, compañere, compañera, which is comrade, in masculine, neutral, and feminine, respectively. Ofendide, which is outraged in neutral, which could be ofendido. If it were masculine, ofendida if it were feminine, and ofendida in this case that is neutral, or outraged. Somebody who takes offense. Ofenderse, to take offense. So, guitarra, guitar. That was an easy one, wasn't it? Pizarra means blackboard, but it also means the slate, like the stone, the type of slate. the black, very slaty type of rock. It's called pizarra as well. So in this case, it's blackboard. Okay, let's not complicate things, but it could be slate in some, other contexts. Don't worry about it. Corazón, which is heart. The heart, the beating potato that we have in here in our chest that makes our blood pump and so on. And fascista, a fascist, which is the other piece of shit that we all know and not love. So there's that, I guess. Moving on to second page. Do you have any doubts or anything? I don't think this part was pretty straightforward, wasn't it? Anyway, aumentativos, both the aumentativos and the diminutivos would be very local in their usage, right? So there are many different ways to apply these diminutivos and aumentativos, and it goes with the region or the area that you're speaking, right? And I'm gonna, say this with libro, book, librazo, a big ass book, right? Or libraco. Again, both of them are valid. I would say libraco is more Spanish from Spain, and librazo would be more, more Latin American or universal, I would say. You're here, but you're working. Don't worry about it. So librazo and libraco, there are two different ways. But azo is and aco are the modifiers, and it's big book, big ass book, right? Wow, what a book, what a big book. Que libraco, colega. So, that would be libro, librazo, or libraco. Like, for instance, carro, like the Latin American way for saying car, would be carrazo, if you want to say it with the Latin American accent, which would be more appropriate for the kind of variation of the Spanish language that would be using here. So it would be carrazo, que carrazo. Or, I don't know, there's another way to use this. Pelota is a ball, but un pelotazo is when someone hits you with a ball. So it doesn't mean like it's a big ball. And there's no much use for big ass ball. Que pedazo de pelota, que pelota más grande, no? You kind of tend to paraphrase it, to phrase it more than modify it. Because a pelotazo, it's a hit with a ball. So, we were playing soccer and somebody shoots and you're in the way and the ball hits you in the head and you go like, vaya pelotazo. What a big hit with the ball. So there are several stances in which the aumentative, the aumentativo, modifies to mean something other than the aumentative by itself, but in context, let's say an action or something that happens. Same could happen with verbs, but we're gonna browse through it right now. Noticia, the news, the piece of news. Notición, and we use a different suffix for this. And again, there is no rule to it. It's usage, so you got to learn by practicing. But I'm showing you the different ways. There are out there that you'll find of making aumentatives, aumentativos, or diminutives, the diminutivos, that you may encounter out there. Okay, so it's worth giving it a shot and say, is it this way, and get it wrong one time, or twice, and then you learn how it goes. You know how it goes. So from noticia, notición, big news, notición. So it's like big breaking news, and go like you just tell people, big news, the revolution is on. We're taking the palace. And you say, notición, ha llegado la revolución, vamos a tomar el palacio. And then you got it. Big news. Again, I'm going to say it a little bit slower. Notición, ha llegado la revolución. Vamos a tomar el palacio. Again, big news. The revolution has come. We're gonna take over the palace. Notición. Ha llegado la revolución. Vamos a tomar el palacio. That's very seriously bad acting, but it slows down so you can understand the word. Don't don't add me for the acting, okay? Okay, moving on. So amigo or amiga or amigue, and you can say amigote. And this is, it's not a big friend per se, but in this case, the modifier is saying it's a little bit despective, like those friends you have. You go out with those friends of yours. Te vas por ahí con tus amigotes. When you're angry with someone, because their friends are a bad influence on them or something. So it's a little bit of, it applies as a despective, not as an aumentative per se, even when you use the aumentative, Like, I don't know, we could say, for something so positive as amigo, you can say amigote, or esa amigota tuya, that friend of yours, that influence, that woman there, just I don't know, figure out that you go out with HK Rowling or something like that, someone awful like that, and you go to brunch and stuff, and your comrade says, esa amigota tuya, con la que te vas de brunch, menuda pedorra, menuda terfa de mierda, that kind of thing. I don't know. What? Who knocking? Yo, sup, Riendis? You were saying. Am I doing something inappropriate or something? I hope not. Okay. So, I don't know. You can encounter augmentatives with this suffix. Okay. So calle, and again, when you say callejón, it doesn't mean it's a big street. This is another modifier, and it's supposedly an aumentative. But callejón is actually an alley instead of a street. I said that. Yeah, I said though I named that who must not be named. It's because I'm so secular, I don't believe in that magic thing. I say, well, don't worry. No, none of us are gonna make friends with that awful being in denial and corner in her little corner of hate. It's fine. We're not in her wealth bracket. Precisely. So there's that. So callejón, it's another, it's another aumentative that is not used as an aumentative because it changes calle, which is the street, to callejón, which means an alley, which is actually smaller than a street. But for some reason, it modifies its usage. It's not even, there's not even a logic behind it. It's just usage. So it means something that is actually smaller and less sophisticated than an actual street, which is, an alley, a callejón. Like a dead-end alley, callejón sin salida. Sin salida. I'm going to type it here. Sin salida. So, no way out, You're in a dead-end alley. Estás en un callejón sin salida. You know the drill. Working and lurking. You know the drill. You know the drill. Work and lurk and work. You know the drill. You know how it goes. So again, rico, rich, are natural enemies in this system of capitalism. Doesn't mean, somebody may get rich under a different system that wouldn't require and necessitate, for someone to be rich to, do it on the backs of other people. But come on, this is capitalism. You get rich by stealing, wealth from surplus value, from workers, basically. And, dodging taxes so you get that money away from the commons into your pocket. So yeah, rico, our natural enemy under this system. You go to ricachón, filthy rich. Somebody, ricachón, a filthy rich person, filthy rich man. It could be like ricachona. And we would go back to that lady, with whom we don't want to have mimosas anytime soon. We don't want to have brunch with transphobes, with TERFs. So, con esa ricachona yo no voy a tomar brunch ni hostias. No me voy a merendar con esa ricachona infame. Merienda is that's another kind of cool word, merienda. Let me pull this. Merienda. It's kind of a supper. It's kind of it's kind of a dinner. Like if you count supper as the dinner you have at night, it's what we would call cena, which is commonly translated to dinner. It is weird. It is cultural, because I've been to different countries and what they call dinner is like what I would call, lunch. But they have lunch like at 12 and we have lunch like at 2 p.m. So I don't know what that is. And merienda is something that you do like at 4 a.m. or something, before the actual dinner. That would be supper that we have like at 8 or 10 or later because we're Spaniards and we're unstructured. But I'm sure, that in your part of the world is slightly different. But at any rate, it's kind of the tea time of the British, I would say. I don't know. Something along those lines. So regachón is a little bit like amigote, like it's kind of despective. So esa amigota regachona con la que has salido a tomar brunch, that, esa amigota regachona con la que has salido a tomar brunch, esa transfoba hija de puta. You can say, that amigota regachona, the famous writer of, liberal fetish porn, whatever. Midwesterners have before dinner, and we call it supper. Yeah, kind of. Yeah, you know the drill. Anyway, esa amigota ricachona con la que te vas, no quiero verte con ella nunca más. Like that. Okay, I'm gonna write the whole sentence anyway. Let's write the whole sentence. Let's write the whole sentence. Let me... Just a minute. Wait. Where did it go? Here. Okie doke. Oh, damn it. Let me see. Let me type this properly and let's put it in its own devices. There you go. There you go. So, esa amigota ricachona, that rich friend of yours. Am I missing? Oh, cena is supper, but supper is same as dinner. At least here where I am from. Yeah, definitely. It's different in different countries, I would say, we use... But again, I would blame it on us. We Spaniards, we're super unstructured with our meals, and it's fine, We have the siesta, which is absolutely superior, so we're allowed to be a mess with our meals. If you know what I mean. one good thing, one bad thing. Counterweight. Anyway, this sentence over here. Esa amigota ricachona con la que te vas de merienda. No quiero verte con ella Nunca más. That's a lot of drama, if you know what I mean. Like, esa, which means that. Amigota ricachona, like rich friend of yours, but you say it with the amigota instead of amiga, and ricachona instead of rica. You can say esa amiga rica. Esa amiga rica would be, regular, but when you say amigota and ricachona, you imply that you don't like her very much. And, being a transphobe, turf, piece of shit, duh, you don't like her very much, Why do you make friends with someone like that? Just wonder, in the story that she tokenized a leftist, to improve their public image. And you see your comrade, being tokenized by that amigota ricachona, hija de puta. And you go, con la que te vas de merienda, with which? Con la? With which? With whom? Que, which is, that, but, we use the que a lot in Spanish, which is, te vas, you go. Te is like a reflexive, but you go yourself. It's like you take yourself there, right? So you go de merienda, out, for that kind of, I don't know, supper, dinner, somewhere in between, merienda, yum, yum, 5 a.m. snack, going out for maybe, I don't know, some coffee and a couple of donuts. I don't know, middle of the evening, like 5, 6 p.m. You haven't had dinner just yet because you have dinner like at 8 or 10 p.m. But you have a little bit of hungry in your stomach, and you get that with friends. Better than alone. But not with rich, awful friends. Not with amigota ricachonas. Terfa. Hija de puta. There you go. That's you know who I'm talking about now, right? I'm gonna try and put some background in here. Let me grab this a moment. And properties and yada yada. And I'm gonna properties from this other tool so I can get the background color. Fill is gonna be paper. So I can, overlay it on top of the other thing. Yep. And you can see it in the center of the screen, which is a little bit better. I hope. Yeah. Esa amigota ricachona, terfa hija de puta, con la que te vas de merienda. No quiero verte con ella nunca más. Which means, I'm gonna do the second part of the sentence. No quiero, I don't want. Verte, again, see you. No quiero verte, I don't want to see you. Con, with, ella, her. Nunca más. Nunca más means anymore, nevermore. Oh. And we open the exclamation here. If we would capitalize, we would be capitalizing here and here. But I'm not going to capitalize because look up Herbert Bayer and the Bauhaus typographical rules, and that's why. And hija de puta means it's one of the insults that we're gonna go through. Maybe it's today's extra on top of the extra on top of the extra. We have like a couple of extras. Maybe today's extra is gonna be swearing, the swear words, the swerves as well. Awful people, swerves. Come on. Show some solidarity to sex workers. Good people, poor people. We want the end of their exploitation, So, esa amigota, that friend, ricachona, that rich friend, piece of shit, Terfa, hija de puta, motherfucking turf. Con la que te vas, with whom you go out. De merienda, for I'm gonna call it tea. No quiero verte, I don't wanna see you. Con ella, with her. Nunca más, anymore. So we have like a little bit of drama over here. But don't worry, it's fictional. Don't wanna hurt you with this, okay? Extras, yes. Back from dinner con café. But what kind of dinner is that? It's 8. Okay, it's 8. It's dinner. enough. I'm gonna dinner after this, if I dinner at all. I may skip a meal today. I'm tired. Anyway. You know, esa amigota ricachona, terfa hija de puta, con la que te vas de merienda. No quiero verte con ella nunca más. So there's that passion, that soap opera here. I live with an Italian, so coffee is required. Good. Italians, Portuguese, and Spaniards, we value good quality coffee, should I say. You hungry now? Yeah, I'm sorry about that. Okay, moving on. So those are aumentativos. We're going to go to diminutivos, which makes something smaller, okay? Sorry about that, Randy. So I didn't mean to make you hungry, by going de merienda with JKR. Awful. I hope at least she paid, Piece of shit. But it's not worth it. Not really worth it. Too cornered in the turf camp. Ko and ka in Slovak. Cool. Diminutives. Yeah. Like compañero would be Anyway, comrade, Oh, camaradku. Camaradko. Camaradka. So, compañero, comrade, compañere, in this case, because it's the neutral gender that we chose. So we're going to say compañerite, compañerito, or compañerita. They say, oh, mi compañerito. You use the diminutive a lot when something is dear to you, and it would probably happen the same in Slovak, because it happens a lot with in Polish as well. You say kotek, kotku. You go like, oh, this is so cute. It's very kawaii. Some things, things in tiny formats. But in this case, compañerito, oh, compañerito, mi compañerito, and you give him a hug. That's good. That's a good tender moment to compensate for the drama we just seen before. Nika. Cool. Niku. Anyway, ofendide, which is ofendido or ofendida. So ofendidito or ofendidita or ofendidite in neutral is someone who gets, outraged or offended by something. And we use this a lot, ofendidito. The term ofendidito, we use it a lot in Spanish for when right-wingers, fabricate outrage out of nowhere. And they start complaining out loud online, and we go like, anda, el ofendidito, ya vino el ofendidito, ya vino el ofendidito, pobrecito ofendidito. So ofendido, ofendidito, compañera, compañerita, guitarra, guitarrita, it's a tiny guitar, o guitarrilla. And we use these interchangeably. Interchangeably. Guitarrita o guitarrilla. But there are some cases in which, like pizarra, blackboard, we could say pizarrín, a little blackboard, tiny blackboard that you put in your hand, like to take notes of something, So old school stuff. I'm going to say, it's like a tablet, but a little bit more analog. Pobrecito is such a common word. Yeah. Pobrecito. Pobrecito. Poor dear. Pobrecito. Pobrecita. It's like when you pity someone, when you feel like a little bit of... Actually, it signifies more empathy, unless it's used ironically, like pobrecito. And if you say like sincerely, right? You're really empathizing with pobrecito. Something. So you say you see someone, falling in their skateboard and hurting the little bit, like, oh, pobrecito. Or you go try and help him up, and venga, arriba, and you go, pobrecito, venga, poor dear. Oh, sounds like someone. Oh, sweetie, yeah, kind of. Yeah, when something bad happens or a bad decision is made. Yeah. But in the case of pizarra, this is weird because it translates to pizarrín, which is like, what? Like pequeño or chico. Okay, I'm gonna write it down. I need another block of text. I'm gonna use the same block of text. Just maybe not, just a new one. There you go. And you go like pobre. And it could be pobrecito, right? But if you say chico, which is boy, you can say, or even you can say chico could be for boy and for small, but if you say chiquito, it's like little boy. But you can say also chiquitito. Oh shit, damn it. Chiquitito. It hyphenated, of course. Let me make it a little bit longer on the side. And chico, chiquito, and chiquitito. Which is like I don't want to play that song, you know, but there's this song by ABBA that would get me like content whatever thing from the machines that are trying to sniff out copyrighted songs, you know. Chiquitita, sabes muy bien que las penas vienen y van y desaparecen. You know, there's lyrics in Spanish. You can research it on your own and go for it. You know, if you're into the cheesy music from the 70s and 80s, there's ABBA's song Chiquitita, which is funny, you know. They're Swedish, singing in English, and then translating the song in Spanish. They made the whole song in Spanish. So you can search for Chiquitita, letra español, and you'll find the whole thing, right? We say it both ways. If someone is falling for a conspiracy, ay, pobrecito, está equivocado. Yeah, when you know, basically when you're feeling a little bit, you know, I would say there are cases of empathy. There are cases of actual pity, you know, like it could be feel pity for someone who's in serious denial and say, pobrecito, no sabe, ay, they don't know, poor dear. But, you know, so there are ways that you can chiquito and then to chiquitito. And if you want to exaggerate, you go chiquitito. That would be too much, maybe. But it's fun. Okay. So guitarra, guitarrita, pizarra, pizarrín, which is a kind of an exception, a rarity here. Corazón, corazoncito. No me rompas, mi corazoncito. You know, my little beaten heart, my poor little heart, you know. Oh, corazoncito. Again, you know, go for cuteness, for empathy. Okay, yo también tengo mi corazoncito. It's like when, you know, people are bartering with each other. You dingus, you ding dong, and they say, oh, stop it. I'm fragile too, you know. I got my limits. Espérate que yo también tengo mi corazoncito. Yo también tengo. I'm gonna type it, I guess. I gotta type it now. I hate it when it hyphenates. Don't hyphenate, man. Don't hyphenate, man. There you go. Yo, me, también, also, tengo, have, I have. Me, my, corazoncito. My little heart. I have my little heart too. You know, take it easy on me. Yo también tengo mi corazoncito, you know. Okay. Whoop. There you go. The voice you're making is like how I talk to my tiny cat. Yeah, you know, this we're on the diminutivos. That it had to happen like that, if you know what I mean. And in the case of fascista, you can say fascistilla, that little fascist piece of shit, you know, that little piece of shit, that, you know, insect, fascistilla de mierda. Yeah, we could say that we always use fascistilla with de mierda, which literally means of shit, you know, but it means like, translated a little bit properly, it could be like shitty little fascist. Fascistilla de mierda. Use it to the next shot you see out there and you say fascistilla de mierda. I don't know, or type it in a in a box. Fastistilla de mierda. Which is similar to Italian. Di merda, right? They say di merda. And we say de mierda. Again, mierda means shit. So that's another plus that we're gonna go through the swearing ring very soon. Because we're done with diminutives. Again, this is like these two are like a little show of what you can find around. But regionally, it may differ. And the best way to learn this is by experience, by trial and error, by listening, to what's going on, and listening, reading, and whatnot, But, if you find a fastistilla de mierda, you can tell him to their face, eres un fastistilla de mierda. And, if you possess, eres un fastistilla de mierda, cómeme todo el culo. You're a shitty little fascist. Eat my ass. Profusely, Cómeme todo el culo sudado. Eat my sweaty ass. That's what you say to a fastistilla de mierda, right? Or you say nothing and just beat the shit out of them. That's what's to be done with fascists. So we're moving on to another. Yeah, we've gone from the feel good to the violence in no time. So we were with all of the cute things and everything. But now we move on to the preposition list. These are all the prepositions in Spanish, and go like, oh, what a list! That's huge. Okay. We're gonna try and translate them, okay? So a means to, or towards something. Voy a estudiar. I'm going to study. Voy a estudiar. I'm going to study. I hope it, Ante is not very in use, but means before. You can say antesala or something. You can use it as a prefix. Bajo means under. So where is it? Where is Kropotkin's The Conquest of Bread? ¿Dónde está la conquista del pan de Kropotkin? You ask. And you say, está bajo la cama. It's under the bed. Because you keep books over there for some reason. I don't know. I just came up with it, okay? Cut me some slack. Antebellum. Ooh. Antebellum. I know si vis pacem para bellum. If you want peace, prepare for war. Which is shitty, ancient Latin Roman saying. I don't know who said that. I'm gonna check it out in a minute. Si vis pacem para bellum. Who said that? Si vis pacem para bellum, because that's how you pronounce Latin. Apparently, I don't know. That's how I learned it in school. I may be wrong. Si vis pacem para bellum. Taka 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 taka. The phrase si vis pacem para bellum is adapted from a statement found in Latin author Pluvius Flavius Vegetius Renatus Tract de Re Militarim. Okay. Paraphrasing, actual phrasing, igiturqui desiderat pacem preparet bellum. Okay. Therefore, let him who desires peace get ready for war. The idea conveys also appears in the earlier works such as Plato's nomoi, the laws, and the Chinese shi yi. The phrase presents the counterintuitive insight that the conditions of peace often preserved by readiness to make war when necessitated. It sounds like the peace of the dead. Which could be today's song. I haven't prepared it, but I can prepare it in 5 minutes. is usually considered to be the period before the Civil War in the US. Oh, there you go. Yeah. Antebellum, before the war. Makes sense. Anyway. So bajo, cabe. Cabe, it means, there's a verb that says cabe, but in this case it's cabe as a, we don't use it that much, as you can tell. Cabe la posibilidad or something like that, cabe, it means the off chance of, kind of. Con, with, that's this one we use. Contra, against. De, of, desde, from, en, in, entre, between, hacia, towards, hasta, until, para, for, por, but for another for. For the causational. So para is for the towards something. What do you use that for? ¿Para qué usas eso? I use it for making the revolution. Lo uso para hacer la revolución, right? But this is used for, no, but it's actually por, it means more like by. Yeah, by. Según, it means maybe, or more than maybe, quizás. Según, it's a conditional, kind of, like if. Según qué cosas, depending on what things. So, según means depending, more or less. No problem. It was nice. It was a really nice tangent. Never be sorry for those wonderful things. Sin, without. So it means under the conditions of. This is not very used. Sobre, upon, in tras is behind. So those are the prepositions in a nutshell. Not gonna, I remember I learned in my school like very, very fast. Like I go ante, bajo, cabe, con, contra, de, desde, en, entre, hacia, hasta, para, por, según, sin, so, sobre, tras. It's good to have a list of these. And, if you feel like you have doubts about it, you can also translate it at home, and try and reach out a little bit. This is just another list, of useful words that we can use, in a proper context. So let's do that extra you were promised, because we have plenty of time. This was way shorter than usual. So we're gonna say tacos. Tacos is not the food in this case. It's swear words, okay? Because we call them tacos. Like there's a more childish way to call them, which is palabrotas, like big words, which would be another case of aumentativo. ¿Dónde está aquí? Aumentativo. So, instead of amigota, we can say palabra, palabrota. And you can say it's a big word, but it's also like a swear word at the same time. So there's that. So we're gonna start with the most used ones in Castilian Spanish from Spain. But there are many swear words, so bring them on. If you want to ask for a swear word right now, if you're live, you want to type, I want to know what that word is in Spanish. It's time to ask. But we're going to go for hijo de puta. Hijo de puta, which means literally son of a whore, which could be translated to son of a bitch, which could, it's one thing that you use for a lot of stuff. Actually, I'm gonna try and fetch something. I'm gonna try and fetch something from a comedy show that we saw. Let's see what video can we pull. I think it was a little bit banned. It was a little bit banned from. I hope I can bring this on properly, but no. Okay. Oh shit. Okay. This is not gonna be easy to pull. I should have prepared this, to be honest. But let's figure it out. There has to be a way. Not really. Okay. Okay. There was some comedy show that prepared like hijo de puta hay que decirlo más. Son of a bitch, you gotta say it more. And it was like under the guise that you could use the swear word for anything. That's one of the things, we in Spanish we tend to swear very lightly. We swear with a smile, not taking it super seriously, and it's okay. It's like, yo, motherfucker, well, yo, what's up, piece of shit? And we're not really, we don't really mean it unless we mean it. Context is everything. But, they don't carry as much weight, like, say, for instance, in Polish. If you call someone in Polish skurwysen, you gotta be ready to defend it with a knife or gun or whatever weaponry you have with you at the time, because they're gonna, when you swear, it means you mean business. In the case of Spanish, it's more loose, way more relaxed. Don't worry about it. You swearing your ass off, no biggie. It's fine. So, hijo de puta is like one of the big ones. So, gilipollas. I'm typing in the wrong box. Sorry about that. Gilipollas. It's a swear word that has like a lot of... That means like asshole. Asshole, gilipollas, which has some origin. It has an origin in a minister whose surname was Gil. So instead of gilipollas like that, it comes from Gil, the surname, and pollas, which meant the feminine of pollos. Pollos means chicken, right? So pollas is young hens, let's say, young chicken of the female persuasion. And it was because there was this minister who wanted to show off so much in the 19th century in Madrid. He was a show off, and he was always surrounded by two beautiful women or more. And he was always bragging, that he was... But the guy was an absolute asshole. That's why, So who's coming? ¿Quién viene? Who's coming over there? And that's gilipollas. Gil and the girls, right? Again, that's the origin of it. But if you say like polla, in its context, it means a cock as well. But of course, you can say cabrón, which could be another aumentative of cabra. And a cabra is a goat, so cabrón is the big male goat. And it's another, a jerk, a motherfucker, Cabrón and gilipollas are absolutely interchangeable. Right? Gilipollas an asshole, cabrón is an asshole. Gilipollas is a jerk, cabrón is a jerk. Young chickens of the female persuasion. Sorry, that just set me off giggling. You know what I mean? Like when they're chicks, they're teeny tiny, yellow fluffy dinosaurs. I don't know what to do with those. Yeah, if a Slovak swears that you prepare to fight or run. Same with the Polish. It's like you really need to be me in business. But in our case, it's like cabrón, and we sometimes say cabronazo. And when we say cabronazo, sometimes means like what a motherfucker. Like you can say it in admiration. Qué cabronazo. How did he pull it off? Right? How did he pull it off? Qué cabronazo. How did that guy? How did that woman pull off that trick that was so difficult? Like she shot a fascist from 3 kilometers. Like with a single rifle. Single bolt action rifle. Dice, qué cabronaza, qué buena, good job. You mean cabronazo or cabronaza in this case? Qué cabrona. It's like, wow. So it doesn't have to be bad. It could be good. Swearing in Spanish Yeah, I'm glad you like it. Swearing in Spanish, it's complicated. It depends on context a lot, a lot. Es que qué cabronaza, qué buena. I just who was the shooter? This Soviet shooter who was on World War II, who had like a record. Keep forgetting about her. And do you know her name? Sharpshooter, Soviet. Damn it, Valentina something. How do you snipers? Yeah, sniper, not sharpshooter. Snipers. Oh, there were many actually. Partisan army training. The sharpshooter movement, Kashan Imperial German side. Ludmila Mikhalkovina Pavlichenko. Yeah, Pavlichenko. That was her. And you go, que cabrona. How did she pull it off? Wow, that was awesome. Yeah, Ludmila Pavlichenko. Yeah. So you can say like, que cabrona. Like, that, que bueno. That was so good. Whoa. And you can say it in admiration. So, but sometimes your boss makes like a cut, and says, okay, you can't work a full. Your say your employer has benefits for that quarter, but they lay off half of the workers because they know they can afford it, so they lay off a lot of people, and they still make a profit. You go, que cabrón, or you can say, que hijo de puta. You know what I mean? But if your coworker, is trying to sneak to the boss and tell them about how many times you go out for coffee to the coffee machine or something, just to score points with them, menudo gilipollas. What an asshole, right? Menudo gilipollas. So let's say if the penis is the polla, you can say coño is the vajayjay, the cuchi. That's el coño. Me come el coño. I can give a fuck. Of course, there's mierda, which is shit, but you can also say vete a la mierda. Go to shit. Vete a la mierda. Vete a la mierda. Go to shit. It's like fuck off. Vete a la mierda. You can tell someone to fuck off and say, vete a la mierda. And you can combine and say, vete a la mierda, gilipollas. So, vete a la mierda, gilipollas. Vete a la mierda, gilipollas. How can you say that? And they're very powerfully sounding words. It's not like in Polish that you say chuj and go like, oh, that's cute. Te chuj. It's like, oh, cute. Vete a la mierda, gilipollas. If one of those Polish Nazis, they're trying to ban abortion and they call you chuj for being a leftist, you can tell them, vete a la mierda, gilipollas. Hijo de la gran puta. Cabronazo. Me comes la polla. Something like that, if you know what I mean. That's true. Vulgarity, is an art. Vulgarity is an art. Let me see if I can pull some more. I mean, from Castilian Spanish from the Iberian Peninsula. But I think those are the most useful. I could come up with more if I think harder, but I don't feel like it, to be honest. I don't know. Are you curious about some other types of vulgarity in Spanish that you want to know about? Or something that you say in English that you want to figure out if there's a way to say in Spanish? Like, vete a tomar por culo. tomar por culo. Culo is the ass. Tomar por culo is take something in the ass, like, you know, to be fucked in the ass. But if you say a tomar por culo, you can say it like, if something is very far away, you can go like, eso está a tomar por culo. Uf, that's so far away. Woo, está a tomar por culo. But if you send somebody a tomar por culo, you send someone to fuck off. You say, vete a tomar por culo. And it's all in the intention. Or if you're tired of something and you're frustrated with some task, you're doing something, you know, all the time, and you send it to fuck off, you know, a tomar por culo. Fuck it. I don't care anymore. A tomar por culo. It's all in the attitude. So the same set of words can really mean a lot of stuff, depending on how you feel, what's the context, and how you express it. I don't know if it makes... I don't know if it makes sense. I hope, you know. So, a tomar por culo, a la mierda. You're very fuck this kind of person. Well, Nicole, from now on you can say a tomar por culo. Also, you can say que te den por culo if you send someone to fuck off explicitly. Que te den. So instead of a tomar, que te den. Que te den por culo. Fuck you in the ass. Gilipollas. Que te den por culo, gilipollas. You can combine all of these, you know. Hijo de puta, gilipollas, polla, coño, cabrón, cabronazo, mierda, vete a la mierda, que te den por culo. You can say all of it, you know. It really helps venting. You end up being like, oh. You know what I mean? I hope it helps. So those are swearing in Spanish. You end up being like super, super soft, like, all is good, all is good. I think that's about it for the lesson today. We'll come back with more Spanish lessons, hopefully next week, okay?